Hello there, Libra, Libra rising, and of course all of you Libra moon people out there. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting February 10th, 2020. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever wish to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on when it comes to your astrology over the course of this coming week? Well, it's all about Venus, the planet of love, harmony, affection, the finer things, as well as favor. Your ruling planet in Aries, in your 7th house of partnerships, your closest one-on-one relationships. That's your boyfriend, girlfriend, your BFF, your business partner, your husband, wife, and your roommate. All the people you have your closest one-on-one connections to. And on Monday, we actually have Venus conjunct Chiron in this area, which gives a chance to actually heal something that has maybe been a dark cloud hanging over your area of partnerships or a partnership in your life. With Chiron, remember, they call him the wounded healer. Sometimes I'll just call him our baggage or our scars. The things that maybe accidentally make us prone to certain choices because of unresolved issues or maybe just things that we have not cleared from our emotional fields. Well, with Venus conjunct Chiron, we have a chance to dissipate a cloud or clear up or remove some kind of scar from a relationship. And it does not necessarily have to be romantic. It could absolutely be something professional or platonic. But with Venus involved, it comes in the form of a gift, or possibly a favor being done, a token of support, or maybe even a chance to simply make peace. And we could be in a perfectly fine connection. It could be a mutual situation. Maybe it's a mutual scar. Maybe it's a dark cloud hanging over the relationship that has nothing to do with our partner or the other in this matter, but rather a circumstance that has been afflicting the union as a whole, whatever type of union it is. With Venus involved, we have a chance to clear those clouds, which is very, very nice. On Thursday, we've got Venus in the same space, forming a T-square between the nodes of the moon. The north node, which is what I was trying to say first, the north node and the south node. The north node is currently in Cancer, your 10th house of career, how you make your mark on the world, your upward mobility, your social standing, and yes, to a certain degree, how we earn some money. And the south node is in Capricorn, in your 4th house of home and family, as well as where you plant your roots and how you deal with your past. Now, the North Node is all about our biggest challenges and our biggest rewards. This is focusing on things that are tough for us that ultimately lead us down the best roads possible for our personal, spiritual, material, terrestrial growth, as well as non-terrestrial, spiritual growth. And the South Node is our crutch. That's how we cut corners. That's where we take things on easy street, where we protect ourselves by not challenging ourselves. Venus is giving some kind of gift that is going to be elevating either of these spaces, whichever you choose. It's a free will energy. I highly suggest that when this opportunity happens, you lean into the North Node, which leads to, again, your career, your social standing, how you are making your mark on the world. This could be an opportunity given to you through a potential partnership or a partner or a friend that helps elevate your stature when it comes to how you work in your field, maybe even completely changing directions in how you want to actually serve others. However, if you choose the South Node to play it safe or cut corners, it would be something that applies more to your home, your work, your roots, or maybe how you look back on your past. I will say, though, the gift that keeps on giving is going to be the one that goes in the direction of the North Node. Now, before we get on to your cards, I'm aware that there's a Mercury retrograde going on this week, and I covered that in the monthly astrology horoscopes on my Patreon channel. So if you're interested in that, you might want to check out the down bar below, or open the down bar below if you're on a mobile app, in order to check it out. It's only $1 minimum to have access to the monthly astrology horoscopes plus live chats with me and all kinds of other stuff. So let's have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your cards. Well, interestingly enough, your themes all have a very similar flavor to them. And we're talking about breaking free, casting off burdens, getting away from vices, attachments, possibly addictions, and the past. And the spiritual themes that set it all off, well, we actually have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So with the Eight of Swords reverse, we are focusing on letting go of things that are stuck, things that maybe we are stuck working on for other people, or maybe even things that we go in circles with within ourselves. And sometimes these things can happen in the external world, or sometimes they're going on internally. The important thing to understand with the Eight of Swords is that it's about freedom. The girl in the picture has realized that nobody's actually prevented her from taking off her blindfold or cutting her binds off with the swords. She's no longer psyched out. She's no longer taking a victim mentality. She's no longer in a space where she's paralyzed with rumination and overthinking. And this is a chance with the Eight of Swords reverse for you to even break free from people that may be stuck in that kind of way. We have to be careful these days, especially when it comes to commisery echo chambers. Sharing and co-creating negative realities with folks that are simply just perpetuating and replicating the same misery over and over again. You may have to deal with that sometimes in your life. Sometimes we have to get away from people that are terminal victims. Sometimes we have to take some space, and that's okay to do that for yourself. It's not necessarily up to you to decide what another person does with their free will. And if a person chooses not to explore ways to get themselves out of long, old stories, you cannot be there just to simply keep the crumbling from happening. And with the Eight of Swords in reverse, we have a follow-up with the Devil card reverse. We actually have the release of some kind of maybe threat, or maybe internal or social challenge, obstacle, or detractor in your life. This could be something that's eating up time, eating up energy, eating up resources. This, of course, with the Devil card reverse, we also talk about vices. Maybe some of us are going to, I say us because I'm also a Libra rising, maybe some of us are letting go of maybe a pastime or a bad habit that doesn't actually work for us. Be nice if I could stop with the nicotine. Maybe there is a breakthrough where we let go of, I guess, a guilty pleasure as it relates to a social connection, or going back down a certain road with people. Maybe we're breaking a vicious cycle with the Devil card reversed and the Eight of Swords reversed. Getting away from things that wind us up. Getting away from mentalities, getting away from teachings, and people who want to stay in a lower polarity. When it comes to the outflux, what's going away, we actually have the Strength card upright, interestingly enough. And with the Strength card upright going away, there is a loss of longevity. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, and I don't think that's inconsistent with the message that's going on here at all. With the Devil card reversed and the Eight of Swords reversed, we see things that have been in our lives for years, that we have been either standing with, standing when we shouldn't, or possibly capitulating to or fueling ourselves disappearing. And with the Strength card going away, the structural integrity of those decisions or those agreements is dissolving this week. There's no way to stay stuck. There's no way to hold on to this is how it is and it will never change and this is how it's always going to be in any way, positive or negative, right? There's no such thing as something that just sticks and gets stuck forever, because the point is for everything to evolve in whatever direction it will. And the outflux with the Strength card, a lot of you may be finding that it is easier for you to wiggle out of situations and maybe even wiggle out of connections or circumstances where you think you're stuck. Stuck with a person. Maybe it's not necessarily a person you are so close to, but maybe stuck with a person or a personal circumstance, stuck with an obligation. I see a lot of binds eroding for you. When it comes to the bottom row, the mundane, right? Money, things like that. Well, for your material concerns, we actually have the Five of Cups upright. And there does seem to be a loss, but I'm actually feeling this loss coming as a sense of a sacrifice, something that you are giving up, something that you are releasing, And it's interesting because with the Five of Cups, it's something that I think that you didn't want to have to let go of, but you are accepting that it's not worth keeping. It's sort of cutting losses of some kind, and this can be painful. Sometimes this is an investment we think is supposed to pay off. Maybe it's a job we were hoping that was supposed to get better. Maybe this is a plan or a financial arrangement or a professional trajectory that is not taking us down the road we want to go on. Or we find out that it's just nobody is right for this situation. It's not right for us. We're not right for it. It's not cut out to our sensibilities. We're not cut out to what the demands of it are. And the Five of Cups is bringing us a bridge to another area, a bridge to an alternative, a bridge over troubled waters. It can be sad to kind of cut losses in that sense, to let go of something that we were really hoping would just sort of eventually take care of itself. But it's important to remember with the Five of Cups, there is going to be an opportunity for an alternative. Even if you had your heart set on something, the alternative in this circumstance may actually be a faster road to get to where you want to be. When it comes to the external, friends and relatives, we've got the Four of Wands upright. A major accomplishment or major feat is going to actually be celebrated with you, shared with you, or maybe even achieved with you when it comes to a friend or a relative. Because with the Four of Wands, as I always say, we have this cause for celebration. We have a breakthrough coming on for you. Now, this could be great news, especially when it comes to maybe that alternative, that bridge we were just talking about, or quite possibly an opportunity to reconnect with friends, to amass the resonance that is right for you when it comes to friends and relatives, the company that you want to keep, the support system you want to have, and quite possibly somebody even sharing the fruits of an accomplishment that they've had with you. When it comes to your relationships with love and with romance, we've actually got the Seven of Wands in reverse. This week, a little bit will go a long way, but there will be some challenges coming up when people might not necessarily be so careful, or let's just say careful, when it comes to how much energy and enthusiasm they're putting into their words, their actions, their deeds, their choices, and their thoughts. Because the Seven of Wands reverse can indicate trouble coming when things are too hard-hitting, going too far. People energizing the first thoughts that come into their head, not reading their texts out loud before they send them in a sensitive situation. Believe me, you'd be surprised how many times that just is an avoidable problem people could just solve for themselves. But with the Seven of Wands reversed, also practice some patience. There could be some difficult communications with new potential partners and existing partners over people possibly explaining things in a bigger way or a more impactful way than they really need to be. Nobody's being dramatic here. Those emotions are coming from somewhere, but they may accidentally be infiltrating the subject, the topic at hand. It may not have anything to do with you or your partner. It could have something to do with something going on in somebody else's life, a problem with a friend, a problem with family. But with the Seven of Wands reversed, everything seems to be rolling a 20 when we might not always want it to. So just be smart about this. It's an okay week when it comes to love and romance. Venus obviously is helping us out there, but we just want to make sure that we are not bludgeoning each other when we just mean to be having informative exchanges. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever wish to get a session, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.